everybody, it's Sari here, and it's Sunday in Melbourne, Australia, and we're going to start our weekly tarot reading. Before we start, I want to set an intention, so if you want to just take a deep breath with me, breathing in and breathing out. If you are in a place where you can close your eyes, just close your eyes to center yourself. Have your feet touching the ground to feel grounded. And from this place, just relax your shoulders and breathe in. Breathe out. Being present and bringing your awareness to this present moment. Now on this second breath, I want you to think of your question, your intention. If you have anything looming, any negativity, any questions, doubts, or something you need clarity with, ask for some clarity with these cards today for the week. So breathe this intention in and breathe out. So I hope everybody here live and watching the recording receives the messages that they need to hear so that they know what is the next steps to take or to gain confirmation for something they are working through. All right. So those of you who have just joined, welcome. We're just going to do the weekly reading. This will be a general overview of what is happening in the collective. So if it resonates with you, fantastic. But if it doesn't, just might be, bring your awareness to that it might be happening to the people around you, your family, your friends, your work colleagues, or anybody that you might encounter, even in a shop, I'm getting. So this is the first card here, and this will represent for us the energy of the collective for this week, what's going on energetically for us. And this is going to be, the second card is the blocks and the challenges. What are going to be the challenges that is going on from the collective? And the third card here is going to be the action or advice of what is our next steps. Because it's all very well to know what's happening, what the energy around us is, but it's not going to shift. The block won't shift unless we take action. Alrighty. Oy. Okay. Rightio. All right, so what's happening? This card is pretty self-explanatory. Look at that. The Five of Swords. So the five is always about some conflict. So whenever we see a five, there's a lot of movement, action happening. There's a lot of things that we are still struggling with and wanting to resolve. And the Five of Swords is really telling us that in the collective this week there's going to be a lot of energy around jealousy, conflict, feeling of defeat, like this fella here, feeling defeated, judgment. I mean, look at this fella in the front here. He's obviously won the battle, but has he won the war is the message that I'm getting. How do you feel when, you're talking to somebody about something and you feel like you've overthrown them, or, it's really going to be about looking at watch yourself. Watch yourself in what you say, because words are really powerful. Sometimes we forget how powerful words are. And in the time of the Druids, this is the Druid craft tarot cards. In the time of the Druid, words were like contracts, like daily, our current day contracts. So they were very powerful, and you can imagine what this guy said to this guy. So getting for us for this week to really watch how we say things, how we phrase things, and really understanding to have a deeper understanding of how powerful our words can be. I mean, even the birds here are fighting, so there's a fight or flight phrase coming in as well now. And, you know, there's a lot of swords, so there's a lot of thoughts. You know, swords are representing a lot of thoughts in this, and having a foot over the sword, you know, double-edged sword. So you're going to cut left or right, either way, there's damage that's going to be done. So that's going to be the feeling of the collective this week. It's not great. But, you know, if we're aware of it now, then we'll know how to tackle it. And this is the beauty of the tarot, and receiving messages from the divine through the tarot is warnings and preparing us to best deal with the week ahead. So even if you feel okay and you feel grounded, you know, just check in with the people around you, your children, your family, your parents. I'm getting a lot of parents, so there might be fights with parents for some people who are watching this, and just know that your words are cutting, or maybe their words are cutting. So there is a lot of blame and miscommunication that may occur for us. So this is the block. The block is the Seven of Swords, and again we can see the number 7. And here the swords have been strategically placed, like almost weaved. So that's saying to me automatically that some of us are going to manipulate the conflict that we feel in a way that suits us, that benefits us, and that's another warning that we're getting for this week. I'm just going to see if anybody else has come on. Hi, Elise. How are you? Thanks for joining us. So, yeah. Are you being strategic? Are you being manipulative? Just check in with yourself this week. Or is anybody else? It's not always about us and what we're doing, but what is happening around us. It could be a challenge of somebody from work that, you know, is really wanting to have that fight. And then how do we handle it? We're trying to manipulate them, trying to, you know, or resolve the situation, you know, really, really clearly. Number 7s are a lot about movement and voyages. So even if you're not physically moving with work or, you know, situation, have a look at what quality and insights you will receive as a moving forward. I don't know, I'm getting a lot of travel, especially looking ahead at this card as well. So some of you may be traveling and feeling out of your depths. So how do you deal with that challenge? What insights are you going to use? Do you need to research a little bit about how you're handling the situation? Yeah, so dishonesty, deception, manipulation this week. Whoa, whoa, whoa. So if you do believe in the power of crystals, yeah, I'm getting hematite for this week. And, you know, obsidian, if something that's protective, but also quite sharp in its energy, just to have, you know, that negative energy not bounce off on you. This is a smoky quartz. So those are the stones that I'm feeling for any of these challenges and blocks that are coming up. So, okay, so we've got all this happening, maybe for us or for somebody around us. And this is the card that shows us what action we're going to take. And I'll just put that in there. This fella on the 3 of Swords, he's looking over a field, but perhaps you can see there's some crops there. Perhaps he's sown this field, so he's looking over his harvest, and so he's done a lot of work. This reading is very related to work situations I'm getting, and so for some of us, we've done a lot of work on, you know, laying down a really strong foundation, and you can see there's new shoots here, so things are starting to blossom and progress for us. And this week, the taking action is really a little bit more subtle, I think, because we're looking back at what we've sown, what we've created. And the number 3 is really powerful for looking at, results and things that we've manifested. And sometimes I'm getting the message, sometimes it takes 3 people for things to manifest. So if you and 2 work colleagues want to see a project through, that you'll need 3 of you. There's a really strong number for 3 to actually have that project manifest. And in terms of the conflict, it's really about reflecting and looking back at how you are, how we are. We can't change anybody else, even though we want to sometimes, especially at work. We can't change anybody else, and we can't control how they react. So all we can do is look back and see how we've dealt with the situation. If it's a reoccurring situation, how have you dealt with it in the past? Has that really worked for you? That's a question you'll need to ask yourself so that you can take new action. Or perhaps you have been using some strategies that you have been putting into place and it is working for you. So continue to take that action. So things are going to start materializing if we take the proper action. And it's all trial and error. I'm getting a message that, you don't have to be perfect, take perfect steps, especially if we're looking at our negativity and other people's negativity. There's going to be lots of mistakes this week, and we're just going to reflect on it and look back on our part. That's really all we can do. So that is closing the reading for the collective, the weekly reading. Thank you so much for joining us live. I hope you got something out of those messages. Okay, until then, bye.